Hello again guys and welcome back to another Zatu Games unboxing with me, Tom, from the Honest Meeple. Today we're investigating some serious, very mysterious tremors as we unbox Terror Below. You join me at the table as I delve into the game from Renegade Game Studios, a game by Mike Elliot, Terror Below. Of course, some may say this is a very unofficial game based on the hit film Tremors, but of course that is a forbidden word. We're not going to say that because of course this is Terror Below and you and your band of renegades are going to be taking on the Worm. Be warned, this is by no means a co-op game, however, as you are out for yourself and trying to score as many points by delivering worm eggs. How interesting. So, let's open this box. I will say this box has, this game has been played, so it has been punched. However, I will just like to point out the punching experience was very pleasant. So, let's see what we have in the box. We have a lovely bit of foam. This is actually really handy because the board, where it's folded, will move around. Thumbs up, Renegade. Love to see this. Thinking about your customers. So this is the board. I'll tell you what, I'll leave this because this is quite an impressive part of the game. I'll leave that till the end. So, first on top you have a beautiful, beautiful rulebook that is done in the style of a classified document because of course these worms have been created by the government and are running rampant through the town. So, you can see here, it gives you a bit of a story. It's set in the Nevada desert, and essentially these worms, which stand for Weapons of Remote Massacre, have been crossbred by the government and are now running rampage and attacking everything in sight. It is up to you and you alone. I say that in a way that this is not co-op. However, there will be other people out there, but you have to get across the Nevada desert in your vehicle and collect as many of these mysterious worm eggs and score points at different locations. This rulebook does a great job of telling you how to set up, because of course you have the board set up, then have the player set up, and then you have the worm set up and kind of the placement of the different tiles. But it gives you all the detail that you need in there. Very interesting book to have a read. Gives you all the kind of abilities. The appendix here, it gives you the idea of kind of the common card queries that you're going to be having. You then have the solo scenarios at the back. I have played this solo. It is very tough. However, you do have the scramble, which is the easy version there. But that is the rulebook. Nice, compact. Very nice. Well done, Renegade. Next up, we'll take a look at the eggs. So these are the eggs that you're going to be collecting throughout the game. And as you can see, they are rather weird. They look a bit like a dragon fruit mixed with a pineapple. I don't know. But these are they're plastic. They are nice eggs. My one criticism is some of them do have a little nib at the bottom, so you may find that you need to file them down a little when you get them to stand up properly. But those are the eggs. You have 4 colours, if I get the other one out. You have a purple, an orange, a baby blue, and a maroon. So those are the eggs that you'll be collecting. Make sure that the things you're collecting look attractive. Oh, egg down! The worm mother's going to kill me. Don't worry, she'll stay back. Talking of the worm mother, I guess I should say the queen. These are the worm standees. Now, my one little disappointment, I guess, with this was these aren't really necessary for the game. They are purely aesthetic. However, for their purpose, they are great for adding theme to the game. You can understand exactly who's attacking you. And yeah, you've got Ms. Tentacles, you've got the Queen. Is that the Boomer? I don't know. Well, is that the Boomer or the Screamer? They've got different names. We'll have a look at the cards in a minute, but they're the standees, so you can put them around the board to add a bit of theme talking about the worms on offer, let's take a look in the bag here. So you will have the worm cards. Now these worm cards dictate how the worms start, where the worms start, and basically their health, and how many cards it takes for them to eventually attack. So these are the coordinates for where the worm starts. So this is the queen. This is one of the hardest worms to defeat in the game. As you can see, she has 20 health. However, she does need 5 cards placed on her before she does attack. And you can see here, she attacks in the centre, and then everything here is all rubble. The grey areas and the eggs get placed there. She is absolutely brutal. But she will start in the coordinates 3-3. It's shown on the board. If there is a building there, or there's a reason why you can't place it there, you'll then roll the dice that are included, which are here. You'll roll them and then get new coordinates. But that hasn't happened to me yet. But as you can see, I've put the queen at the top, because, yeah. So you've got the blaster, loads of blast. There's the boomer, Ms. Tentacles, the screamer, and is there one more? I can't remember. The screamer. The screamer. Have we had the screamer? I can't remember. Oh, we've had the screamer. The blaster. The blaster we haven't had. There we go. But they are all the worms. The artwork is really nice on these cards, I have to say. I do like them a lot. But as you can see, they've all got those coordinates, and they show you how they attack with all the health and the cards being placed on them. Now, you're probably asking, Tom, how do you mean you place cards on them? Well, if you want actions throughout the game, you have to play these cards. So these cards are will dictate the movement, the action points, and the ability, if there is one. So, for example, if I play the bicycle card, I will place it underneath a worm. That worm will move up 3 times. I will then get 3 action points that I can use to move, to jump over ramp another player, to pick up eggs, to clear rubble. There's various different actions you can take, and then you play the ability. So then I can play a vehicle card face down as a distraction, which adds to the worm's card limit, and also means I can program the worm with these little movements here. So I could do that. So yeah, really simple. As you can see, they tend to be kind of, the more action points you get, the weaker, or perhaps the more negative the ability will be. So in this case, if I played this 18-wheeler, which is the most amount of action points you can get, you can see you have to move the nearest target token to your space, which is bad. You don't want that to happen. Otherwise, the worm's going to get you, and you are then just going to be another victim of the weapons of mass. The weapons of... Oh, goodness me. I've forgotten. Oh, that's bad. Slap on the wrist, Thomas. Weapons of remote massacre. That's the word. Remote. Right, there we go. You can guess my feeble memory then. So these are the character cards. So there's various different characters in here. So you have the FBI agent Laura, Story Owner Will, Handyman Merle, Survivalist Lisa, Shep the farm dog, pottery maker Alan, mysterious businesswoman Celia, taxi driver Grady, graduate student Patricia, truck driver Pam, Dr. Tom, it's me, life coach Sebastian, government researcher Carlos, US Marine Natasha, Shepherd Old George. He is a ridiculously powerful card, especially against the Queen, and Homemaker, or as Nick from Board Deck and Dice likes to say, Home Wrecker Rebecca. Rhymes, that's a nice one. But as you can see, all of these characters, you will have 3 to start off with. You will put 1 as the leader, and that leader will then be able to activate their ability. So, for example, when Laura enters play, draw a bounty card, place it face down next to Laura. This is a hidden bounty and can only be completed by yourself. And all of them have different abilities that you can use throughout the game. I love the dog, and there was a big uproar when I was demoing this at Tabletop Gaming Live, and someone killed the dog, and my God, it kicked off. It really kicked off. Needless to say, the guy was then not left alone for the entire game. You then have, just at the back here, you have some turn sequence cards as well as a solo rules reminder, so you don't forget what you're doing in the game. You then have a bag of rubble. So when the worms attack, rubble will be placed around spaces dictated by the card, and these are really nice plastic bits of rubble. As nice as rubble can get. Simple as that. And then, if we move on, you then have the player tokens. These are all vehicles. So you can see here, you have like a sedan, a normal kind of estate car, a van, multi-person vehicle carrier thing, a kind of Jeep, and then an army Humvee. Because of course, why would you not want a Humvee when worms are attacking? Nice wooden tokens for your players. We then have, I'll go quickly have a look at the dice now. Interestingly, I heard the Kickstarter edition had wooden dice, and I tell you what, I much prefer these plastic ones. They're really nice. The transfers are on there, they're not going to be going anywhere. And yeah, they're definitely a good pair of dice, except they just don't roll what I want them to. And they let my girlfriend roll exactly what she wants to obliterate me with a military missile. Completely unfair. These, in here, you have your locations. I'll only get a few out. Let me get a selection of tokens. So this is one of the locations. This is the hospital. There's 5 locations. You have the hospital, if it's going to focus. You have the hospital, the general store, the motel, the police station, and the government facility. These are where you are going to be delivering eggs, and if you're playing in the multiplayer variant rather than the solo, these are your safe places. You cannot be attacked in here. Every time you deliver to these locations, you will get a benefit as well. Much like if you deliver to the hospital, you can revive one of your downed comrades and get them back into the battle, which is a nice little positive. When you deliver eggs, you score victory points. These are the victory point tokens. There's a selection of 1s and 3s to ensure that you keep track. And finally, this is the number 3 target token. There's 3 of these, as you've probably guessed, and these basically dictate where the worms are, because of course the worms will move before they attack. And wherever this is, and the worm attacks, that is exactly the location where the worm is going to be popping out and trying to eat your legs off. Not a very pleasant weekend if you are playing this over a weekend. And finally, we have the weapons, the items, and the bounties. So these are the weapons. As you can see, you will have a variety, a selection of different weapons. You have a potato gun. You have perhaps, which is slightly more useful, a semi-auto rifle, a shotgun, which is definitely useful, a pistol that is a bit weaker, but, you know, still works, a hunting rifle, yes, you've got a shotgun, semi-automatic, yeah, great, grenade, oh my god, that's going to blast them out, brilliant, box of dynamite, oh, you can't get much better than that, really, military satellite, blast them out of the earth, alien snare gun, it's getting better, incubation ray, oh, brilliant, and then a pointy stick. A pointy stick. Because, of course, a giant worm is going to die from a pointy stick. This is quite an effective card if you can roll a 6, because you kill the worm instantly. If you are a lucky player who has killed a queen with a 6, with a pointy stick, let us know in the comments below. You deserve much praise for killing a queen worm with a pointy stick. So apart from that, you do have a good selection of weapons apart from that bloody thing. So those are the weapons. You then have items which are going to help you in your quest to find more eggs. So you have a seismograph which allows you to play a vehicle card under a worm as a distraction face down, so people don't know what you're doing. You can program the worm. The worm trap, nitrous, white hat. Hats are instantly attached, so in this case the white hat will allow your weapons to gain 2 additional damage, which is great. And no, if you have the pointy stick, you cannot kill 2 worms. Don't get too eager. So you've got the snow plough, the suspicious briefcase, if you see that, report it. The sonic transmitter, more hats. A variety of different things that are going to help you in killing those worms and helping you survive. And finally, what we're all here for, the money, the victory points, the bounties. And these basically show you where you should be delivering eggs. You can deliver them anywhere, but these are going to get you more points. So deliver a baby blue egg to the general store, you're going to be getting 2 victory points. Deliver a purple egg to the motel, that's 3 points. Baby Blue to the State Police, 3 points. And as you can see, the harder they get, the government facility tends to be in the corner of the map. You'll be looking at 4 points for delivering a maroon egg. You also have hunt cards. So if you manage to kill a blaster, you will get 5 points. There are any worm ones here, if I can find them. So if you basically defeat any worm, there we go. If you defeat any worm, you will gain 4 victory points. And once there's 4 available at the top of the map. If you manage to get one, you get the points. Yippee, thumbs up for you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not everything in Terra Below, because I've forgotten a major, major thing. The player board. So, if I can move some of this out the way, I can get the player board into here. So it is, of course, in the shape of an egg. This is the canyon side. So this is slightly more difficult. Look at that beautiful UV spot shining in the light. Shine bright like a diamond. Okay, I won't sing. But yes, this is the board. So you can see here there is all sorts of different things you can do. Let me zoom out slightly. Oh, that's the most I can zoom out. Dun dun dun. But you can see the coordinates on there. You've got the bounty line at the top, and the worm's going to be down here, and that's where you're going to be playing them. Terra Below. So that is the humongous map. It's not that big, but it's a really nice board. The spot UV has definitely added to it. So that is everything you'll find in the Terra Below. Yes, if you feel tremors, do watch out. It could just be an innocent tremor, or it could be a weapon of remote massacre. See, I remembered it this time. I didn't need the notebook. I do hope you've enjoyed this rather crazy unboxing of Terra Below, a game very loosely based on Tremors. Of course, it is not a Tremors game. Please join us again for plenty more videos of unboxings, reviews and more on the channel. If you have been lucky enough to kill a queen down with a pointy stick, comment down below, because I do want to know, and you might find yourself with a big, big thumbs up. However, if you feel like you're a hunter and you really want to get stuck into Terra Below, then use the code Honest Meeple 5 to get 5% off your next order on zatu.co.uk. And please join us again for our next video. And as always, guys, I will see you all next time.